Hi there. In the current situation with this whole pandemic that's happening to us, there's a lot of information that's flying around, a huge amount of data that's being tossed at us through the various media channels, and a lot of it is clearly fake news. And you've got to be a complete fool to believe any of that. And on the other hand, there's more subtle stuff that's communicated to you, and you've got to be a little smarter to figure out that what to distinguish between the fake and the true stuff that's out there. And that's the whole thing about authenticity, that the message, unless it's authentic, nobody's going to believe it. And I was remembering a time when I used to work in a company some years back, and it was one of those years when there was an economic downturn and all businesses were hit badly. And the MD had flown down, uh, and he addressed the entire crowd who had gathered in this open office area. Must have been about 150, 200 of us. And he had bad news for us. He said, "Sorry, guys, but this year there's not going to be any increments or bonuses given out because, as you know, it's business has not been good. But I expect you to, work hard and tighten your belts and make sure that we hit our targets this year." And so that was the message he gave us. But I looked around and people had this very cynical expression on their faces. And I knew why too, because just a couple of weeks earlier, we got the news that the MD had bought himself a spanking new blue BMW sports convertible. And although that's perfectly fine, of course, the MD could just write a check and buy a car. But the extravagance of that act did not mesh well with his message of belt tightening, and the message that he gave us did not come across as terribly authentic. So the audience needs to know that that they can see through a story that is not sounding authentic, and you got to be careful that your act meshes well with the message as well. So that's my message to you. See ya.